Good morning. It's Thursday, January 22nd, and I am finally going to really get to putting some of this repair bits and pieces into at least the rear master cylinder and maybe even the calipers. I've been saying I'm going to do this for days, and each day I get sidetracked. I got the parts. This is a oil pressure setup that I built years ago, and I can use it on different bikes. I'm going to put this on this bike before I do the first start, so when I get a first start I can check the oil pressure. In the meantime, back at the ranch, the daily bad dad joke. Today's joke is, let's see. How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. I'm not sure I'd tell that to a child. What can I say? I'm pretty straightforward dad. I don't think I'd tell a kid that. Anyway. Okay, I've got everything laid out. All the new parts all along here. And nice diagram in the background to act as a reminder where all the little bitty bits go. And let's get a little brake fluid to lubricate all the individual parts as we go together and start the process. All right, I don't know if this is going to work or be a disaster. Camera is on the bench trying to stay away from my hands. Okay, so first thing to do is get this guy in here, which is always just so much fun. I'm going to put just a little bit of lubrication on this end, a little bit of lubrication on this end. It has to go in here facing this way. They're all the same diameter, so you can 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Stand by, I'm going to put it in the vise. All right. Let's see if this makes it any easier. It's being held down here. These are soft jaws. It's being held down there by the other end. I should be able to push this way easier. And I'll have my little screwdriver here in case I need it. Just put a little bit more fluid on it. All right, that makes a difference. Up and over and on. Okay, so that was the right way to do it. All right. Okay, so I put it in the soft jaws, holding this end, and was able to go over like that and get it on. It's facing, the lip is facing this way, that way, which is pressure. Okay, so far so good. The other one's easy, it goes right here with the wavy washer in between. This is called the wavy washer. Okay. Okay, this guy goes in here. Like so. Like so. This guy goes in facing in also. There he is, nice in there, facing in. Wavy washer. And plunger. Okay. Now we need to put this C-clip in here to hold it in. Once again, opportunity for excellence. A real opportunity for excellence. I'm going to show you the way I do it. You might be appalled, but I'm going to show you the way I do it. We're going to go back over to the vise. Can you see the vise? I'm going to put the cartridge in here resting on this so it doesn't slip. Get a pair of C-clip pliers that'll fit these tiny little holes. Okay, like so. Can you see what I see? Okay. And a Phillips screwdriver. This goes around the pliers, like so. Like so. And my arms are in the way. Now you got to get this down inside, gently. There it goes. Now you can put the clip in. While you hold the plunger down. If you're lucky. Like so. Okay. So the clip safely in place on the end. And we have good pumping action. Okay. And that gets pushed by this. Okay. This little rubber cap goes on. Don't know why it's inside, but that's what they want. All right. Now we get to put this in here. And it's a very, 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 very specific, not the ocean, specific method. We're going to read it. Make note of the slot machined in the center, underside. That's what they're talking about right here. This part, this slot. They want us to make note of it. Okay. Making sure that the push rod enters the hole in the boot, screw the cylinder into the cast body. Moving the push rod slightly so as to feel when all the lost movement is eliminated. Do this carefully so that all the lost movement is just. Okay? Screw it in very gently. It'll work better this way. Making sure that all the lost movement, this is lost movement, okay, feel that just a little bit. Right there, now it's tight. Now it's loose. Now it's tight, okay? So making sure that all the lost movement is taken out. Okay. Now, with all the lost movement eliminated, note the position of the cylinder inlet pipe in relation to the cast body. Okay. From this position, screw the cylinder in one complete turn so that the inlet pipe finishes up in the same previously noted position. Okay. So we go one turn in. So with this guy here, all right, by the way, brake fluid will take off spray paint. We turn one complete turn in so that this comes back facing down. Okay? Now, continue screwing it in as necessary to bring the inlet pipe vertical and the Allen screw in the body into alignment with the center slot. All right, so there's that. So that means this guy has to come up here vertical. Okay? Like so. Fit the Allen screw, ideally. Okay. Make sure it fits in the slot. There's the slot. I can see it in the hole. And now I can see why it was loose, because it's stripped. Nicely stripped. All right, so I'm going to have to think on this. Okay, so the threads inside are stripped. These threads out here are not stripped. I somehow lost the video that fits between that last video that you just watched and the next video coming up. The two grub screws theory didn't work. I put the first one in and it went down below the strip threads. I put the second one in, but didn't really, because the first one took up all the room and I couldn't get the second grub screw to grab any threads. So I found a bolt with the same threads and fitted it in there, and then I cut it off so that it's just above the surface of the master cylinder. And then I hacksawed a slot into it. So I made myself a slotted screw long enough to go through the good threads, past the bad threads, and into the cylinder to lock it in place. Then I put that in with some blue Loctite. So the cylinder is now secured, even though securing it's sort of redundant because it's not going anywhere. It's held in place by all the rest of the bits and pieces on the master cylinder. But anyway, the stripped grub screw hole isn't a problem. I made an extra long set screw and put it together. So you'll see that me putting that in there this next video as we continue the project. All right, so here we go. Now keep in mind, this set screw is just to keep the cylinder from turning, but frankly the cylinder can't turn. Everything's here holding it together. So I don't know what they're doing, why they felt they needed this. But apparently they did. They felt it was needed. Oh, come on. I'm tired of this. I had this all the way in there. I can feel it in the slot. Okay, now it's in the slot. Okay. Next I'll notice it. I mean, it's right there. So does the job. Ridiculous. As what's his name? The actor says ridiculous. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to put these back over there in my stuff cabinet with the rest of my grub screws. I think this is for the front. front master cylinder. I don't think I have a cover for this. Wasn't included in any of the kits. But I have two of them, different sizes. I'm going to say this is for the front. I don't know, they're both the same. I bet I can make this work back here. Yeah, that works just fine. Job's not done till you do it 3 times. Oh, that was interesting. And it just took me 4 hours and 15 minutes. Not really, but it was interesting. So this guy is part of it. And this guy is part of it. Which we have to figure out. I'm going to stop this for a minute. Okay, so there's not a lot of sense in going any farther until I get the new hydraulic brake switch, which should be momentarily soon. So I'm just going to put all this aside now and do a caliper. That ought to be just as much fun. Don't you know?